Hello, good people. Welcome to the first episode of Words to the Artist. It's gonna be crazy! Each of the episodes in this series is gonna focus on artists from past, present, and maybe future, connecting stories of interesting things that have happened, odd things that have happened, and just straight perplexing stories of the world. This episode is going to highlight some of the best, worst, and OMG jobs artists have had. Because most people, not in denial, would quit their jobs if they won the lottery. Truth. Our first artist is well known to some, especially if you're from Europe. Calvin Harris, the golden-haired EDM god that's currently Taylor Swift's boo-boo, was not always the star-studded musician that people see him as today. He was once a lonely fish processor, as well as a shelf stalker. Sorry, what? It's the beat. The beat's about to drop. At supermarkets, like shelf stalker, he pretty much put shelves on shelves. He put shelves on shelves on shelves. So if you're into that sort of thing. Luckily for Calvin Harris, at the age of 18, he was discovered on this website called MySpace. Whatever that is. Up next, we got Kanye West. Jesus himself, born a mere mortal and forced into the rat race that we call life, Kanye West at a young age was forced into the mediocrity of a Gap sales assistant. Can you believe that? We have one of the most wealthy hip-hop artists in the world, working at Gap. We all gotta start somewhere though. We all gotta start somewhere. Sure as hell no. I started somewhere. Kanye likes to quote from his song Spaceship off the album College Dropouts, in which he says, he may have been a bad employee, but he's one hell of a boss. But I do know some people wish that Kanye West was still working back at the Gap, you know what I mean, Taylor Swift. Up next, we have Mick Jagger. I know some of you are thinking that Mick Jagger was always some kind of child gigolo, jag here, jagging there. For the most part, you are right. In the early 1960s, Mick Jagger, a young and budding musician, actually got a job at a psychiatric ward as a porter. That be an errand boy for a mental institution for us regulars. You would think that working at a psychiatric clinic for the mentally deranged would somehow stunt his life or stunt him emotionally. Not this one! But from what I hear, it really helped him to handle Keith Richards really well. Mick Jagger did lose his virginity at the psychiatric clinic to a nurse in a cupboard. So if you guess nurse, mental institution, closet, you are a winner! I don't know if I can work at a psychiatric clinic, but if nurses are just throwing it everywhere, I might be interested. Force is strong in this one. Next up, we have Freddie Mercury. Oh, hail, Mr. Queen! Freddie Mercury had one of his earliest successes working in a market stall. Yes, he worked in a market stall. The year was 1969. Kensington markets were known for dealing with the hippie and bohemian lifestyle. Where have I heard bohemian before? Bohemian. Freddie sold his own art, paintings, etc., secondhand clothing, whether from himself or from other wandering gypsies or whatever. I have Freddie Mercury's secondhand underwear! Yes! Freddie did have his success around the age of 23. So if you're looking to get into, have your own market stall, try to shoot to be out by 23, hopefully, Then we have Jay-Z. The Jigga Man! Hovo! J. Camel! Born in Brooklyn, New York, in the projects, like where police officers don't show up and you sit on the phone for 3 hours like this. They already took everything. You know, they just let me have this phone out of pity. You don't even need to come anymore. Jay-Z's Prefame job, which he is not ashamed to admit, is that he was a crack cocaine salesman, such as one in the sailing or one in the sales of crack cocaine. Despite a humbling beginning, Jay-Z is one of the most recognizable hip-hop artists in the hip-hop world today. He's married to Beyonce, Queen Bee, and he's worth $500 million. Dollars? Yes! Yes! $500 million. It's not all fun and sunshine, people. As a crack cocaine dealer, before he had all of his success, he has been shot at 3 times. He was also obligated to shoot his brother in the shoulder after his brother supposedly stole his diamonds. I personally don't see why people are tripping over a dime bag. Just a dime. Right? Right? The next artist is Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. Simgar Monfunkel. This was the first celebrity daters, basically. They went to the same high school, grew up in the same neighborhood. They played music together, which is a relationship. Paul Simon did, though, drop out of law school in order to pursue music. He knew that he had a passion for it and he wanted to keep going. Art Garfunkel became a math teacher. Can you only imagine Art Garfunkel being your math teacher? Class, today we will be discussing the mathematical placement of the sound of silence. Nobody kill yourself. After there was some commercial success, which was roughly 2 years after Art Garfunkel became a teacher, Art Garfunkel quit his job, said F you to the students, and decided to become a musician. The rest is written in stone. Or Wikipedia, whatever one you prefer. About around the age of 22, Art Garfunkel had success. Next is Kurt Cobain. Before Kurt Cobain was the Prince of Grunge, he more appropriately was the Prince of Sponge. Yes, a janitor. That's custodial engineer. Kurt worked for Lemon's janitorial cleaning services. Cleaning toilets, bathrooms, porta potties, etc., etc. You know, trying to get the Lemon scent. I'm assuming that Kurt Cobain prayed to some porcelain god in order for him to produce this music miracle. Because by the age of 24, all of America was smelling the teen spirit, if you know what I mean. Next we have Ozzy Osbourne, the seed of Satan himself. Amen. The Bat Slayer. Also a jack of many dark trades. Never know when you're gonna need something. Ozzy has worked as a plumber's apprentice, a car horn tester, a criminal, not a very good one. And most surprising of all, wait for it, a slaughterhouse worker. You're 16 years old, you get your first job, and it's at a slaughterhouse. You show up for your first day of work, your boss comes up to you, and he's like, so listen here, boy, I'm gonna need you to decapitate 250 cows today, and then disembowel and remove the intestines of 100 sheep today also. Better get to it, boy. What? That could scare somebody. I'm just saying that could scare somebody. Lucky for Ozzy, the King of Darkness had other plans, and around the age of 30, Ozzy Osbourne had some success, and he no longer had to make those sacrifices anymore, I guess. Up next, we have Courtney Love, the Snow Rebel. Like literally, she's like Queen of Holes. You probably know her more from being the last person Kurt Cobain dated and slept with before he died. So she definitely has that going for her. Courtney has had a few corporate sabotages, if you want to say, or jobs, as other people would call it. Like picking berries, DJing, acting somewhat, but not really. The biggest highlighter moment when it comes to pre-fame careers for Courtney Love would be when she was emancipated at the age of 16 and she became a stripper. Could you imagine DJing a set? Welcome to the stage, Missy Love. She takes checks, pennies, dollars, and food stamps. The last artist that we would like to touch upon is Rod Stewart. Some of you are wondering why we chose the Rod Stewart as I guess our top job seeker during his early days. Maggie, I got something to say to you. Rod Stewart started very humbly as a silkscreen printer, a paper delivery boy, which is pretty cool, if you don't plan on doing great things with your life. Became a fence erector. Erecting fences, it sounds like a very kinky job. I like to erect fences. Then a quick bit of time as a sign maker. Think about that. You could have been Rod Stewart, the sign maker. One job being that Rod Stewart worked at a funeral parlor as an assistant where he would help to embalm bodies. Even more so than that, Rod Stewart worked at a cemetery as a grave digger. I don't see how that doesn't just mess you up in the head, Ozzy Osbourne had the exact same upbringing and job opportunities, and that done messed his head up. Man, that did serious damage. But Rod Stewart seems overall a well-structured person, which is why I put him at number 1. He's dealt with dead bodies on a daily basis, and it didn't even mess with him. It didn't faze him. He's like, okay, it's Tuesday. I will say this gives a whole new meaning to sometimes when we touch, and the first cut is the deepest. Thank you for watching the first episode of Words to the Artist. All the information for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All the information for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is right on the screen. It's right on the screen. And so hope you have a great day and come back to us.